Welcome fellow citizens of YouTube. I am Based and today we're gonna talk about Bakhmut. I've been gone for a couple of weeks and now I've looked at the situation and holy mother has shit been going down in Bakhmut recently. Wagner forces are rolling through Bakhmut like a hot knife through cold butter. And the Ukrainians seem to be on their last stand now. And the whole situation in the whole war is changing right now. But first, let me tell you about the situation in Bakhmut. The last time I covered Bakhmut, Wagner had this territory here. This was around 3 weeks ago. And they also had the south side. Now they've captured the whole center of Bakhmut and Ukraine is only holding on to this fortress of big commie blocks. Here you have a higher resolution view to this fortress of big commie blocks, which I told you in my video why Bakhmut is a fortress, are very hard to capture. And a perfect place for a last stand. So this map, by the way, is pro-Ukrainian, so the Wagner forces might be way deeper inside of Bakhmut than on this map. But let's just, go with this map, because it's generally pretty good. I think one of the biggest reasons Wagner forces were able to storm Bakhmut that quickly was, first of all, due to the supply lines being pretty much cut off here, down here, and here, which of course causes a strain on Ukrainian logistics. But one of the bigger reasons was Russia is starting to use aviation now, but really using aviation. At the start of the war, you saw tons of pictures and videos of Russian helicopters and planes being destroyed, because Ukraine has great air defense. Throughout the war, you didn't really see much Russian aviation. Here and there a little bit, but not really on a big scale. But now you're seeing Russian planes on a large scale. Sources say the Russians are using 500 kilogram bombs and higher yield bombs 20 times a day in Bakhmut. And those bombs, let me show it to you. This is a huge crater. Those bombs can even kill those big commie blocks here. And I talked to you guys about this, that the Russians will have huge trouble storming Bakhmut because they don't really use aircraft, so they would have to use a tactical ballistic missile for those blocks, and they are way too expensive. They're like more than 200 times more expensive than a simple 500 kilogram bomb, and those have the same yield as ballistic or cruise missiles. A caliber missile has a lower yield than this bomb. So that's why I told you guys that the Russians will have huge trouble getting those commie blocks, and also the commie blocks here in central Bakhmut. Because normal artillery can't destroy them. It can touch them, it can damage them, but it can't properly destroy them, and you can still use them for cover very well. You can put 20 150mm shells into that, whatever. Won't kill the building. You need a bomb or a big missile to kill them, or you have to storm them with huge casualties. And of course the Russians are taking big casualties in Bakhmut right now, as you do with storming any city. But they are able to do this so quickly because those bombs can destroy those big buildings very quickly, especially if you use 20 of them a day. This of course shows that Ukrainian air defense has been largely destroyed and depleted, because probably to a big degree by Surovikin's air campaign over the whole of Ukraine, but especially Western Ukraine, where he bombarded Western Ukraine with missiles, especially with those cheap Iranian missiles, that forced the Ukrainians to pull those anti-aircraft batteries into the western parts of Ukraine and to the central parts of Ukraine, where they can't defend against air attacks on the battlefield. And the second thing is, of course, those batteries get destroyed, because when they shoot down those Iranian drones, Russia then knows where the battery is and then can focus on them with fire. So Ukrainian air defense seems to be largely completed and depleted and destroyed. So Russia can now use aircraft to push on, and that makes capturing a city so much easier. It's unbelievable how much easier capturing a city with blocks like Bakhmut gets when you can drop bombs like that to destroy those buildings. So this is a very significant change in the war so far. I don't really see the Ukrainians pushing back against the Russians in Bakhmut. Probably in other areas, probably in the coming offensive in Zaporozhye if there's one coming, but I expect it. But it's not looking good in Bakhmut. Maybe the Ukrainians are not going to do their counterattacking Zaporozhye and attack Bakhmut. Maybe the Ukrainians will be able to hold the Russians for a little bit of time, because the Ukrainians always have a surprise for us. They're actually very good at defending, but it doesn't seem like that. It seems like Bakhmut is gonna get completely captured by the Russians in the next few days or weeks, except for maybe this little fortress area here and here. They're gonna maybe take a little bit more time to capture, but we'll see. So just a little quick update. Very interesting developments in Bakhmut. Peace out.